Okay, sorry. So my video got a little bit cut off there and I didn't realize it. So here's what you missed. We set up our third equation with our third slack variable. Okay. And then from there, the only thing that's different is that when I set up my table, I had to add a new column for my third slack variable. So this table is just a little bit bigger than the ones that we had before. Okay. Other than that, everything else is exactly the same. Okay, so from here, we're going to go back to this website. I'm going to again right click here and just jump back to that first web page. You could also like bookmark this and just go back to it or keep re-entering the original address. It doesn't matter. Okay, and the only thing that's different is that now I have 7 columns instead of 6. So I'm going to submit that. It's going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to type those numbers in. 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 10. Oops. Missed the 10. Make sure that you type these in right because that's going to really mess you up if you don't. Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot to tell it that I actually need another row as well, right? So rats, we're going to go back and I'm going to make it 4 rows now because I had an extra equation. Oh, great. Now you get to watch me type that all in all over again. Except the magic of the internet is that you can just jump forward 10 seconds and not watch me do all this. And if you didn't think to do that, there you go. It's my little life pro tip for you. All right, there we go. Got the whole thing typed in. I'm going to hit submit. All right, we've got our matrix. Now, back to this guy, we're choosing our pivot. So that's going to be our most negative row here. Then I'm going to come over here and find my quotient. So negative 12 divided by 1, right, is negative 12. Okay, this one is 10 divided by 2 is 5. And this one, 4 divided by 1 is 4. All right, now you're looking at this and you might be thinking to yourself, but hey, wait a minute, right? We've got we've got a small number here, but we also have a negative number here. So which one actually wins? So you actually want the smallest positive number. That's what you're going to go with. Okay, so even though this is technically the smallest number here, its absolute value is bigger. So we're gonna go with this one because like one of our restrictions is that x can't be negative. So the fact that this is restricting it to negative 12 doesn't actually matter for us. So we're going to just go with that guy, and that's going to be our pivot. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to use this guy as our pivot. Remember, it's this one right here. So I'm going to add negative 1 times the third row to the first row. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of this 2 here. So I'm going to add negative 2 times the third row to the second row. Done. Okay, and now I'm going to add, right, this is my pivot. So 2 times that third row to the fourth row. Do it. Okay, so here's my new lovely matrix, which again, I'm just going to copy down really quick. So 0, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 16, 0, negative 1, 0, 1, negative 2, 0, 2. So many numbers. Did you forget that you can jump forward in this video? You're watching a video, remember? Make your life a little bit easy. I wouldn't want to sit here and watch me copy numbers. That's boring. Okay, so here's our matrix. So when I go to look at this, right, looking down here, there are no more negative numbers, right? The negative numbers have been taken care of. So we are all set with that, okay? So what do we do with this from here? So whenever you go to pull your solutions from a simplex table like this, where it's not quite the same normal version, what you want to do is you can only pull solutions from columns that have been cleared. Okay, so like when we have just the 1 here and everything else is a 0 in my x column, that tells me that I can pull a solution of x. And it tells me that this 1x equals 4. Okay, now it's weird because you still have these y values left, right? We have some numbers in some other spots. So it's a little bit bizarre, but it does kind of work out. From there, right, the other things that we could pull out is that we could pull out here because this one's solved and this one's solved, right? And this one's solved. We can pull out what S1 and S2 our slack variables are. But remember, we don't actually care about those. We made them up. So that doesn't really help us too much. I can say though that Z is 8. So that's the maximum for my value, but I don't have a Y. So by default, whenever you have one that isn't available like that you didn't actually solve for, that just tells me that Y is going to be 0. Okay, so when you go back and take a look at this, it does kind of, it's a little bit weird. It works out, but when you just have x equals 4, that's actually what's going to maximize your problem. X is 4, y is 0, and that's going to maximize your problem at 8.